Hello everybody and welcome to the Wake Up Report, and I got a scenario for you. Your burglar alarm goes off and it alerts you that somebody has broken into your house. You hop into your car, you take off to your house. The police have been alerted as well, but you get to your house before the cops do. As you're headed to your house, burglar is coming out of your house. You pull out your gun that you are legally allowed to carry, and while that burglar is fleeing, you shoot that burglar and you kill that burglar. Should you, because you shot a fleeing suspect, be charged with murder and possibly go to jail? That is a question that the state attorney's office in Miami, Florida is facing. Now, the short answer for me is absolutely not, but a Miss Gwendolyn John Riette shot and killed 17-year-old Trayvon Johnson as he was exiting her house. Mr. Johnson broke into her home, and when she arrived at the house, he was fleeing. She pulls out the gun and she shoots and she kills him. Now, this was not the first time that her house had been broken into. Apparently, she lives in Liberty City, which is a very, Liberty City is Grand Theft Auto Liberty City, basically. That's what it is. So as he's fleeing, she shoots and she kills him. Now, I don't know if he broke into her house multiple times, but he was the one who caught the bullet this time. Now, according to certain laws, which I absolutely do not believe in, when somebody is breaking into your home, and even if you're in your house or you come to your house and they are fleeing the home, you no longer have the right to shoot them, assuming that you're carrying a gun, because that person is no longer a threat to you. I think that is a bunch of bullshit, because what you allow that person to do, this is what the law allows the person to do. You can't shoot them, but they can come back and potentially break into your house. Now, my question is, how many times is somebody allowed to break into your house before they finally break into your house on you, and they are allowed to do bodily harm to you? Because it may be a situation where you can't get to your gun. It may be a situation where they get you cornered, they have a knife or something like that. They kill you. And not only do they kill you, even if the person who killed you is put in jail, they're put in jail 9 times out of 10 for life. So they get to spend the rest of their life in jail while you're dead. Your friends, your family have to mourn your loss. And your taxes have to go towards paying for that person to spend the rest of their life in jail. They get to live, and you have to pay for them living for the rest of their life in jail. I think absolutely not. I think that if somebody, and I don't care for whatever reason it is, if somebody comes at you with a bottle top that they popped off of a bottle of soda, and you have a gun, and they're trying to get at you to gouge your eye out, let's say, with that bottle top, and you pull your gun out and you cap the cowboy crap out of them, you are well within your rights to do that. If somebody is breaking into your house and you catch them in the act of breaking into your house, they turn around and they flee, you shoot them. I don't care if you shoot them in the back. I don't care if you shoot them in the front. I don't care if you shoot them in the sideways. I don't care. When somebody invades your personal space, when somebody presents themselves as a possible threat, I believe that you are well within your rights to do anything that you see fit to protect yourself, to protect your house, to protect anything in that house. I think that unfortunately, this young man chose a life of crime, and this young man had to pay the price for the choice that he made. Now, you would think that in a case as open and shut as this, because there weren't no maybes, it wasn't I think he's a burglar, it wasn't I thought he broke into my house. She saw him break into the house. She shoots him and she kills him. Now, of course, when the news always shows up, they're going to find the ghetto relatives to defend the ghetto actions of the little ghetto hood rat kids. And the responses from this boy's relatives are nothing short of priceless. And I mean, you talk about quotable, but let's read some of these quotes, okay? This is according to Vaughn Johnson, Trayvon Johnson's brother. The police told her don't go in the house. She's still going in the house, searching for something. Then she says this lady came out and shot one time and shot him in the chest. What's wrong with her? Johnson's sister, Nisa Johnson, told CBS. She went into her house. How do you rationalize her not going into her house to search for anything in her house? So it doesn't matter whether or not, okay, the police told her don't go into the house. Okay, the police probably told Mr. Johnson don't break into people's houses and steal, because 9 times out of 10 he has a criminal record, but he chose to continue to do it anyway. What's wrong with her? His sister asked, well, what's wrong with your hood rat brother who steals for a living, who breaks into people's houses for a living, and who continues to do it to the point where he finally gets shot and killed? Now, this is Mr. Johnson's cousin. He was not supposed to die like this. His cousin told CBS he had a future ahead of him. Trayvon had goals. He was a funny guy, very big on education, loved learning. Why is it that every time one of these clowns gets popped or shot, they're always into education? They're always big on learning, okay? Yeah, they're big on learning. We love to learn how to break into people's shit and steal people's shit. So we choose to get our education by robbing and stealing and doing the wrong thing. Boy, these quotes. When Michael Brown got shot after stealing from a store, roughing up the store owner, you put pictures up of him in his graduation cap and gown. I don't understand this, okay? If you were so big on education, why weren't you in school? Why weren't you at the library reading a book? Why weren't you somewhere educating yourself? If you loved learning, why weren't you at the library trying to learn something? Absolutely ridiculous, man. But this is the one that really gets me. You have to look at it from every child's point of view that was raised in the hood. This is Harris. So this is Harris continuing. You have to understand how he going to get his money to have clothes to go to school. You have to look at it from his point of view. Let's see. From my point of view, when I was 17 years old and I wanted money and I wanted to get clothes, to get the things I need to get to go to school, I went out and I got a freaking job. It's called McDonald's. It's called Burger King. It's called wherever you can get a job. It's called cutting grass. It's called raking grass. It's called taking out the trash. It's called doing something to earn a living so you can buy the things that you want. How in the world are you justifying this boy breaking into somebody's house because you don't understand? Every child that's raised in the hood has to rob to get that money, to get clothes for school and books and pencils and paper. You have to steal. How you gonna get the money otherwise? A job? What the fuck is that? One of the things black people have to understand and begin to come to grips with, and this is something that we simply do not want to come to grips with. There are consequences for our behavior. There are actions for your behavior. For every action, the saying goes, there's an opposite and equal reaction. And sometimes you have to assume responsibility for what you do. If you choose a life of crime, be prepared to accept the results of choosing a life of crime. You will either go to jail, you will get shot and killed, you will get shot and live and maybe go to jail. This is not rocket science. But what this is how niggas think. And this is the problem. We have so much nigga mentality in our neighborhoods that it gets to the point where you can justify or think you can justify somebody breaking into somebody else's home to take what this woman was probably at her job. She's working for a living. And because he doesn't want to work for a living, that gives him the right, because he was raised in the hood. That gives him the right. And because she doesn't understand his point of view, because he's raised in the hood. I bet he had a pair of Air Jordans on when she shot him. I bet you he had an Xbox at the house. I bet he had everything that a poor child in the hood shouldn't have. See, so you get the things that you want. Or we understand how he got those Air Jordans. We understand he got that Xbox. He broke into somebody else's house and he stole it. Now, have you ever noticed that when white people commit certain crimes, because white people do break into white people's houses and steal things from other white people, Latinos and Asians, and I mean everybody does it. So that's not the issue. But have you ever noticed that when it happens to other groups of people, that they don't run to the defense of the thieves and the crooks that break into other people's property and steal from other people and get shot as a result of it? They distance themselves as far away from those knuckleheads as they possibly can. We are the only group of people on this planet, and please find me another group so you can shut me up, that will so readily come to the defense of other black people when they are obviously doing the wrong thing, instead of sending the message out to black kids, black boys especially. There are consequences for your actions. We think that the world is supposed to sympathize with us because our hood rat mentalities. seem to somehow have created this world where it's okay to rob and steal simply because you live in the hood. Well, this woman lived in the hood as well. And why is it that she can get up every day and go to work and earn her money, and this little Negro can't do the same thing? Learn to accept responsibility for your actions. Nobody wants to see a child get killed, even a child in trouble, because everybody has the potential to turn themselves around and do the right thing. But that decision you make between doing the wrong thing, getting caught, and then thinking, well, maybe I should do the right thing because this isn't right, you got a whole lot that can happen in between. So maybe you might want to do what KTM tells you every time he ends his show, which is think a little bit. It will do wonders for you, especially if your name is Trayvon, living in Florida, breaking in people's houses, and with the history again of the name Trayvon floating around Florida. You would think that somebody, especially some of you knucklehead Negroes out there, would know better. This is KTM and the Wake Up Report saying think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.